Act 3. The lethal fog at 5 o'clock a.m. on October 26th. After 57 grueling hours, Russian Spetsnaz from Alpha and Wimpel units make their move. A ghostly mist floods the theater's ventilation system. An opioid gas, likely a deadly cocktail of carfentanil and remifentanil, 10,000 times stronger than morphine. It's meant to knock out the militants, but it's a sledgehammer, not a scalpel. Within minutes, the theater falls silent. Hostages and attackers collapse, some choking, others motionless. A few Chechens fumble for respirators, but most are swallowed by the fog. Spetsnaz, faces masked against the poison, storm in, their silenced rifles barking. Movsar Barayev, sprawled beside a half-empty bottle of cognac, takes a bullet to the head. The female bombers, explosives still strapped to their lifeless bodies, are shot where they lie. By 7:20 a.m. the theater is secured, but the real horror is just beginning. As hostages are dragged into the cold Moscow dawn, many are already gone. Blue lips, shallow breaths, bodies limp like rag dolls. The gas, a state secret, overwhelms untrained medics. Ambulances, some without doctors or oxygen, crawl through traffic. Hospitals, unprepared for the chemical fallout, scramble to save the dying. Naloxone, the antidote to opioids, is in short supply. One survivor recalls waking in a hospital corridor surrounded by bodies stacked like cordwood. The toll: 132 hostages dead, 40 militants killed, over 700 injured. Some whisper the true count is closer to 170. The gas, meant to save, became a reaper. If this heart-stopping tale has you on the edge of your seat, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more adrenaline-fueled dives into history's darkest corners. Join our detective squad and uncover the truth with us. Act 4. The bloody aftermath. The theater is a crime scene frozen in time. Journalists, allowed a grim tour, step over pools of blood, shattered glass and bullet casings. A female militant's body lies crumpled, her detonator inches from her hand. The central bomb, a monstrous tangle of wires, never detonated, a miracle amid the carnage. Russian officials call it a triumph, but the public smells a cover-up. Why was the gas's formula hidden, even from doctors? How did 50 militants hauling 100 kilograms of explosives slip into Moscow undetected? Whispers of corrupt checkpoints and FSB failures ripple through the city. Shamil Basayev, the attack's shadowy mastermind, boasts online, apologizing to Chechen leader Aslan Maskadov, who denies involvement. A leaked tape meant to smear Maskadov is exposed as a months-old fabrication. The Kremlin tightens its grip, censoring media and passing laws to vanish terrorist bodies. Chechens in Moscow, 80,000 strong, face raids and suspicion. Only one man, Zarbek Talkigov, is convicted, serving 85 years for aiding the plot. No one answers for the gas or the intelligence collapse. Families of the dead, their grief roar, beg for justice, but their cries echo in silence. Epilogue. The ghost of Dubrovka, the Moscow theater. Hostage crisis is a labyrinth of lies and loss. Was the gas a calculated risk or a reckless slaughter? Did Putin's iron fist save Moscow or doom it? And what secrets still lurk in the FSB's vaults? The Dubrovka theater, once a stage for art, now haunts Russia's conscience, a monument to the cost of war and the price of silence. This is just the first act in our hunt for truth. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more pulse-pounding investigations into history's unsolved mysteries. Got a theory on the Moscow siege? Drop it in the comments. Let's crack this case together. The shadows are calling, and we're not done yet. The Moscow theater siege, a heart-pounding descent into chaos. Imagine a crisp Moscow night, October 23rd, 2002. The Dubrovka theater pulses with life, its 1,163 seats packed for Nord-Ost, a musical weaving Russia's wartime romance. Laughter and anticipation fill the air until 9:05 p.m. when the world flips upside down. A guttural shout pierces the theater. Figures in black, faces masked, storm the stage, AK-47s spitting fire into the ceiling. Plaster rains down like ash. Screams erupt as 912 souls, mothers clutching children, lovers holding hands, an MVD general frozen in his seat realize they're no longer spectators but prisoners in a deadly game. Who are these shadowed invaders? What drives them to gamble everything in Moscow's heart? And how will this nightmarish standoff end? Strap in, detective, as we unravel the Moscow theater hostage crisis, a pulse-pounding saga of terror, gas, and secrets buried in blood. Act 1. The curtain of terror falls at 9:05 p.m., 40 to 50. Chechen militants, led by the steely-eyed 23-year-old Movsar Barayev, burst into the Dubrovka theater, just 4 kilometers from the Kremlin's looming spires. They're no ordinary rebels. They're a suicide squad from the Special Purpose Islamic Regiment, SPR, a radical Chechen faction forged in the crucible of the Second Chechen War. Their demand crackles through the auditorium like a death knell. Russia must pull its troops from Chechnya, or the theatre, wired with 100 kilograms of explosives, will become a mass grave. A massive bomb, its wires snaking across the auditorium, sits center stage, flanked by female militants, black widows, explosives strapped to their waists, fingers twitching on detonators. Their eyes burn with a chilling resolve. They're ready to die. The hostages, 8:50 to 9:12, accounts vary, are trapped in a surreal nightmare. A young girl clutches her teddy bear, a performer trembles in her costume, an elderly man whispers prayers. The militants, armed with 15 rifles, 114 grenades, 11 pistols and a homemade grenade launcher, patrol the aisles, their boots echoing like war drums. They declare their mission: end the war or end it all. Outside, Moscow transforms into a fortress. FSB snipers take positions, their scopes glinting in the moonlight. Vice President Vladimir Putin, face grim, cancels international trips, labeling the attackers international terrorists. But are they zealots or desperate souls pushed to the edge by a brutal war? The clock ticks, and the city holds its breath. Act 2, a ticking time bomb. The theatre is a tactical death trap. To reach the hostages, Russian Spetsnaz must navigate a 30-meter corridor rigged with tripwires and a staircase guarded by militants ready to pull the pin. The Chechens, some as young as 16, fortify their hold, wiring explosives to seats and balconies. A female militant, her face half hidden by a veil, paces with a detonator, muttering verses under her breath. Hostages huddle, eating chocolate bars from emergency rations, their whispers drowned by the militants' shouts. The orchestra pit becomes a makeshift latrine, the stench mingling with fear. A few escape through a backstage window, crawling through mud under gunfire, but over 800 remain, their fate hanging by a thread. Negotiations teeter on a knife's edge. On October 24th, the militants release 39 hostages, children, Muslims, some foreigners. But their demands harden. They threaten to execute captives if Russia doesn't comply. A British hostage, his voice shaking, later recalls a militant's chilling promise: if we die, you all die. Outside, negotiators like Boris Nemtsov and Mikhail Gorbachev plead for peace, but the air grows thick with dread. Then a faint hiss, gas seeping from the vents. The militants scream, "Gas, gas," as hostages slump, eyes rolling back. What is this invisible weapon, and who will pay the price for its use?